4 ways you can ride and train for cycling inside. Now, there's a lot of things, like a lot of people are on Swift, myself included. Last year was my first year. I did not get a smart trainer, but I got a set of power pedals, which I absolutely love. They're the Asiamo Italian pedals. And I know that Garmin has, I think they're the 2 brands that have power pedals along with cranks. The other products are cranks. Then that will give you data from your pedals. So what I love about them, before I get into this, is that the Asiamo ones, and I'm sure the Garmin are the same, is that they give you data from on your right and your left side. Do you know how important that is for creating efficiency and smooth pedal stroke? You want to be hitting your pedals evenly on both sides. And if you have a deficiency in a muscle group or a past injury, or you have one leg that's weaker than the other, it's going to come in because it's going to see that you're pushing harder on one side over the other. And then this is where you get into having, you know, if it's not addressed, like injuries and things like that. And also just going in and starting to strength train so that your muscles are equal, you know, and that's a whole other thing. And then there's training exercises that you can do on your bike to eliminate those inconsistencies. And those are things that I work on over the winter. It's not something that is done or even thought about in the summer. Winter training is kind of the time, or off-season training is the time to start really focusing in on those things, the improvement part, the training part, getting into programs, doing extra intervals to get stronger over the winter for your next year's season. And everybody should have an off season. So let's talk about the off season. So there's 4 ways to ride and train inside. So number 1 is off grid. Number 2 is connected. Number 3 is interactive, and number 4 is together. So I'm going to be breaking those down. I'm going to have pros and cons to all of them. And so settle in. This might be a long one. Okay. So first one, off grid. So this means like it's just you and your trainer, you and your bike computer and your trainer, and you're not. So the pros is that you don't need connectivity. You don't need electricity. You don't need internet. So basically, you're on a dumb trainer and you don't need to plug into anything. So you're basically old school rollers, old trainer and your computer. I personally love the rollers, and that's another reason why I got the power pedals, because I can jump to any trainer and get all my data. I can also swap them out on different bikes. So I have a time trial bike and a road bike. So I can get data on anything I'm riding on. So that, for me, is what I decided to get over a smart trainer. And then this year, I'm going to invest in the smart trainer because I rode Swift. You can ride Swift we'll just get into that into the next one, which is connected. So off-grid, the pros, you're basically on your own. There's no hassle with technology. You don't lose time because you lost connectivity. Have you ever been in that situation where you lose connectivity halfway through your ride? I have. Freaking frustrating. It was an FTP test as well, one of them. And you know, you have to create that internal motivation, which is sometimes very hard to do because you are using these, you know, Swift and people and community to motivate you. When you're out on the road by yourself, there's no one there. Self-motivation has to be a key factor. So you have to create that internal motivation. And it also allows you to hit your higher intensity targets and develop mental toughness. Yeah. So, while you're out on those hard rides, this is where all that comes into play. So, maybe you don't have music, you rely a lot on your mental toughness or building that up. And you got minimal distractions, right? Internet, your phone, computer, kids. So, and then the cons of off-grid training is you are completely relying on willpower to get on that bike and do your training.